We have a brand new update from Lindy 3.0, which is the first AI employee update. So basically, I think this is like a smarter evolution of AI agents. We're going to be testing out today and just see how it performs. And it should be interesting to see what we get back. So if you've never used Lindy before, it's kind of like NA10, but it's no code. And essentially, what you can see here is this was just announced like literally within the last 24 hours. And they said, we started Lindy nearly 3 years ago with the vision of the AI employee, virtual workers, blah, blah, blah. Basically, this is coming after people's jobs. Let's play this one back. We'll have a look and see what we got. Hiring, managing, scaling sucks. It can be brutal, to be fair. And this is all about building your first employee. All right, so you basically just tell it what to do. So, for example, like find me 100 leads. Then it does it, apparently. We're going to be testing out today and just seeing how it goes. And essentially, you can use this to automate a lot of things. You can create content. It's got a lot of interesting capabilities, etc. And we'll just test it out and see how it goes. I think you can also get like multiple AI employees to collaborate with each other as well. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, the other thing is if you're using AI agents just in general, I've seen this a million times, especially in the AI profit boardroom. It's like people overcomplicate stuff and then NA10 becomes this whole form of procrastination, if that makes sense. And the point with that, well, the problem with that is like you spend so much time building the NA10 automation that you never actually use it, right? And so I think this is one of the best things about Lindy, but let's test it out and see how it goes, all right? So I think you can try it for free, but probably to use the latest features, you need to pay. So let's see how it goes. I might need to sign in and then pay to start using this, but that's the price I pay to just entertain you folks at home. All right, so it's opening up now, taking its sweet time. Let's go to the homepage here. And one of the interesting things about this is someone was actually saying like they replaced and automated the engineer, right? So every hour, a Lindy AI agent wakes up, tests the entire call flow, and if anything goes wrong, it pings the engineer. Pretty interesting, some of this stuff, right? So let's see how we can start using this. All right, so we just go into the chat. Let's see what we got. New agent builder. Let's see. Personal computer assistant, lead generator, lead outreach. All right, we'll try personal computer assistant. Official template. Okay, try that. So I have to upgrade to use these features. Let's do that now. Before that, my app. So I'm on the pro plan. Why is it not letting me upgrade to use premium features, mate? I just did. Maybe we have to refresh it. Let's try that again. There we go. So let's see if we can find a doctor in network. So it's starting a computer, which is pretty interesting. So it must create like a virtual environment. That's looking for doctors. Pretty fast, to be fair. We'll come back to that in a sec. Let's see what else people are doing with this. So you can set like a recurring schedule, essentially. And it can even, for example, automate your Twitter and that sort of thing, which is pretty interesting. So you can see here is Googling doctors, and then we can actually take control of the laptop as well. Now, the interesting thing about this is if you try and set this up with NA10, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. Let me be honest with you. And the reason for that is because it's super technical to set up like a AI Chrome browser, if that makes sense. So if you want it to use your laptop and everything like that, or if you want it to use a virtual instance, it takes a long time to set it up. I've done it in the past. So what we can do instead is we can set up like a recurring schedule, right? So you've got the agent builder over here, and then you've got your flow over here, right? So you can change things. So let's say, for example, you want to schedule your employee to start working every day. Let's try this out. So we're going to say, okay, add a recurring daily schedule. See if this works. So we can add a new trigger here, and then on recurring schedule, and then we'll link that over here, all right? So if we say, okay, every 12 hours, we're going to start a computer session, and then from there we can delete that. And let's say Lindy computer. It's a little bit laggy when you click these buttons at the top. Interesting how the message feature doesn't work. So it's loading there, and then it just does now. Okay, so you can actually add multiple computers there as well when you start the session. So I assume like you could configure it, if we have a look here, so like it can actually log into Twitter or something like that for you. Let's test this out. It's taking ages to start that computer. All right, so we're good to go there. So I think what you can do, let's test this out. Let's try creating an account here. So if we log in with Twitter, I'm going to create a test account here, and then I'm going to see if the automation can actually work on this. So let's put random dummy data here, and then we'll grab an email address that we can use for this. You can actually copy and paste as well, which is useful. Mate, the only problem with these virtual environments is they take so long to respond if you're doing it manually. Taking its sweet time there. Yeah, that is pretty much unusable, to be fair. Let's X off that, we'll finish that. And then for this, we'll try and create just a basic sort of research agent. So let's say something like, okay, research Reddit for the latest AI news and take some screenshot. Must be AI news from today. All right, we'll try and create like a research agent here. Just going to change the name of this. Okay, right click it and we'll put Twitter research agent. And then what can we do after that? Can we message back? Send a message to user chat, and then we'll let the AI automatically fill that out. All right, so let's try that now. I'm going to say, okay, test. So it says the research task complete, the screenshots have been taken, and then it should send me a response here if it actually works. Enrique says best AI channel of the world, even Brazilians already know. That's what I'm talking about. Let's get that Brazil flag in the chat there. Living the dream. All right, so the AI agent literally sent me nothing. It says research complete. Let's check the computer session. Here we go. All right, so we're testing it now. If you want to test this out, you can click test in the top right. And then Reddit actually blocks it. All right, so maybe don't use Reddit inside your computer use examples. Ola says, is this a real? Julian, it is indeed. We're not at the point where we can automate the live streams. By the way, if you're watching the replay of this and you want to jump on the live streams, make sure you join the AI Profit board. We have daily live streams right now, so you can jump on the Q&A calls here. We do a lot of sessions. You can see there's actually one happening today as well. And then inside here, you get all of my best automations, templates, workflows, etc. We've got a 6-week AI automation session right there. And we've also got a community, right? So if you have any questions, feel free to post inside the community. And it's got 1,100 people inside there, right? So you can connect with 1,100 people who are all interested in the same stuff as you. So it says, I need to log into Reddit to search for AI news. Please provide your Reddit login details or log in manually so I can proceed. Okay, so basically what I think you'd have to do here, and it's good that it worked, but what you need to do really is set up a bunch of test accounts, because if you use your main social media accounts with the computer use agent, I think there's a chance you could get banned, right? I wouldn't put like my Twitter login details into this unless it was a test account. Same with email, whatever. So you just got to bear that in mind if you use this. Let's try something else now. I'm going to change this instead. I'm going to say research online for the latest AI news. Take some screenshots. Must be AI news from today, right? And we'll just change that to research online instead of Reddit so we don't get blocked. Let's test it again. I'm going to go retry. Go ahead. Matt, have you got any Americans in the house? I'm just interested if people are up at this time watching live streams. Okay, so this looks like we're getting somewhere now. So this research agent is just going off and starting to do things. Bear in mind, like I think it's really good for you to see this, because like you'll see a lot of YouTube channels where people are showing you like you just click this button and it all works. But actually, if you look and you try and figure out yourself from scratch, it does take a lot longer. Just being transparent. It's really cool what it can do. It can go off, it can use a virtual computer, it can do that on a schedule, it can take screenshots, it can search and navigate the web without you even being online or controlling it, because it's an automatic schedule every day. The biggest issue is that it's going to take a little while to set up. It's not just like a one-take Drake. Who we got here? We got Ben, Taya, Matt Watts as well, USA crew, that's what I'm talking about. Just wanted to know if I actually catch people in the US when I do these live streams at this time, so that's good stuff. And Enrique says, hey, Julian, have you heard from the new AI from Singapore that was trained with GPT-1 resources but got Claude 3.7 Sonnet results? No, but if you let us know what it is, then we can test it out. If you've got the name of it, etc. This is more like it. We're getting somewhere now. I'm interested to know, whilst that's running in the background, you can see it's doing the research, right? So if we go full screen on this bad boy, this is not me using the internet, by the way. This is a hands-free AI just going off, doing its magic on a virtual environment. But the difference between, say, using this and using something like maybe, there's all sorts of AI browsers out there, right? So the difference between this and something else is that with this, you can run it on a schedule and you can use it inside a chatbot, right? If that makes sense. So that is very different. Whereas, for example, if you're using your typical AI workflow where, you just, like, for example, Convergence AI can do this stuff, but you can't really use it inside a chat. You can't set up a schedule for it, etc. All right, so we're going to click off that. It says, excellent, I've successfully taken a screenshot of the AI news search results from today. Let's have a look, is that from today or not? We can take control of the laptop as well. But if we have a look here, that's August 5th. So I actually did it, which is great. I can see several interesting AI news stories from today. Now let me click on some of the specific news stories, blah, blah, blah. Right? Pretty nice. That is pretty cool, to be fair. So I'm going to X off that. That's the agent builder, right? And there's two things to note here. There's three things really. Number one, you've got the agent builder, right? So this is how you can build step by step what you want, right? And that's really building the workflow. Then inside here, if you go to the flow editor, inside here, you have the actual flow, like step by step. Here's how it's going to work. And then over in the test section, this is where you can test it in real time before you deploy it, right? So it doesn't rinse up your resources. So for example, what we can now do is we can add a trigger so that this runs every day. And then also you could connect this to Twitter, or you could connect this to, for example, what else could you do? You could set it up on an email, you could add it to a newsletter, etc. So it's grabbing all the AI news. So we could add a step here and we could say, right, after the message is sent, perform an action, and then send an email, me@juliangoldie.com to, and I set that manually, right? So I'm going to change that to manual, put that as me@juliangoldie.com, and then I can break down, I'm going to set that manual and put today's AI news headlines. And then inside this section, we can let AI fill out the prompt, but I'll let AI prompt AI. All right. So I'm going to say, break down the latest AI news headlines, showing what happened today, etc. Okay, signature sent by Lindy from, we'll set that manually, put the man, the myth, the legend. We can save it as a draft, or we can actually send it live, but basically that's going to break down the latest news headlines each day, right? Which is really powerful, because then essentially what we're doing here is we are going to set up a schedule where this runs every day. It starts a computer session, it then researches online for the latest news. I'm just going to rename that now, change that to just AI News Research Agent. Then it's going to send a message in the chat, but it's also going to send an email right after the message has been sent. Inside the email, it's going to break down the news headlines and explain what happened today, etc. Then if we go to test over here, it's given us a summary here, as you can see, and broken down all the headlines, which is pretty cool. And that's what you're going to get inside the search results too. So it's got Google search results, Palantir AI news article, and then it breaks down all the headlines, and it should screenshot them as well. And then if we just delete that message, so let's delete that one there, then we're going to add a trigger, and we should be able to schedule this each day. All right, so recurring schedule, and we'll say every day, 9 a.m., let's break down the news headlines. And that's actually really useful. That's something that I'm going to keep this live because I would genuinely find that quite useful. All right. So boom shakalaka. Recurring schedule every day, start a computer session, research online for the latest news. We'll delete the send a message, and then we send the email with all the latest details from the news. Now I think we could actually change that to auto in the body, just so it takes the details from here and plugs it in here. But that's essentially it. All right. And then what you can do is deploy that so it's live each day. And then we should be able to share that. I can share that as a template. Boom. There we go. So if you want to steal that research agent from me, I'm just going to change that now to research agent. I will plug that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description. Go to the S&P section over here, and then we'll add a new page. These are all the updates from this month already, but let me add a new page for Lindy. I'll type in Lindy templates there. And then if you want to steal that from me, just grab it inside the S&P section. Right. So that is actually really cool. It takes a little while to get your head around, but when I say a little while, I mean like a few minutes. And then once you've done that, you're good to go. Let's see what else people have built here. So you can also handle like Twitter spam mentions as well, which is pretty cool. Let's see what else we got. This is quite interesting as well. This is a tweet by Kerman, who says, not all AI agents are created equal, right? So level 0, chat-based, which makes sense. Then you've got level 1 trigger, which is like Zapier, Lindy, etc. Then you have level 2 semi-code. Then you have level 3, which is custom code. But I'd actually say with Lindy, that is now like level 3, because it can actually just go into your computer use and start using it and that sort of thing, which is pretty crazy. All right, let's see what else we can build. We're going to create a new agent. We'll explore some of the templates, see what they got. I'm more interested in the computer use stuff, to be honest with you. But let's have a look what we got. Computer use LinkedIn agent, personal computer assistant, etc. Unexpected error. That's not great. Let's refresh the page. It's good for you to see this stuff. One Nation Travel says hello. Good to see it. I think what you could do as well, this would be interesting, is like you could have a virtual computer with an email assistant in there, and that does the outreach for you. So let me show you what I mean. So I pretty much get this question every day, which is like, how do I automate the email outreach? And we actually have a bunch of trainings on that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, but I want to test this one out as well. So let's say, for example, I'm going to add a new task here in the flow editor. Start computer session. We're going to add a computer. We'll call this email assistant. Then inside the email assistant, I'm just going to have to log in, I think. All right. So let's see if we can log in first. I think that's the right email address. Yeah, it is. All right. And then we should be able to paste the password in. Yeah. All right, it's going to ask me for a verification code. We'll get that now. I'll do that in the background. So essentially, just so you understand what I'm doing here, I'm trying to log in on a virtual environment that will be default inside Lindy, and then we can use that for email outreach and that sort of thing. Now, this is just a test account, so obviously you wouldn't normally do it like this. but this is how we're going to do it. I'm just going to open the verification code in the background. Don't want to share that on a live stream, mate. Here we go. All right. So this email account that we've got logged in on the virtual environment, we've configured it out now. And so what we should be able to do, we start a computer session, we send an Instagram DM, but we're going to change that to rename to outreach emails. All right. And let's see if this works. So what I can do inside here is I can say, okay, let's say I'm an SEO agency. So I'm going to put, I'm an SEO agency, and you could do outreach for whatever business you want. I'm going to put for Goldie Agency, and we'll put Goldie Agency there. Send emails to the emails I give you. So you can just plug in a list. You could even say, go off and do the research for me, but I just want to show you for the sake of promoting our SEO agency and doing outreach for us to get clients. All right. And then I'll put it, make it fun, interesting, witty, etc. Include jokes on this, blah, blah, blah. Right. We're not going to ask for confirmation here. And then this should work based on the message received. So let's see if this actually works now. Send an email to me at Julian Goldie. All right, so it says, I'll help you send a fun and witty SEO outreach email to me at juliangoldie.com. Let me access Gmail to compose and send the email. And it's already logged into the Gmail in the virtual environment, if that makes sense, because we just did that a second ago. So literally that's all we have to set up to get started on. All right, so it's opened up a new email inbox. So you can see, just like an employee would, it's opening up the new message section. And then you can see all the steps here. So it's like, right, click on Gmail to access the email. Wait for the Gmail to fully load. Click the compose button, etc. So let's see what it's doing. Again, this is just all in the virtual environment. I'm not touching anything. And the other big difference here is like, you've got this ready to go in the background, right? So normally if you're running an AI agent with a computer use, like it's every time you reuse it, has to relog into Gmail and everything like this. Whereas this is a virtual environment saved with your settings, so it can just go off and do its magic. And also you can schedule this on an automation. So it's kind of like you're combining the power of computer use with the power of an AI agent and then just working your magic. Let's see what other people are doing. This is interesting. So you can actually access it can be like a personal CRM agent, if that makes sense. In the meantime, I'm going to build something else out as well, because this is taking ages. So you can see it's stuck. Right, it's stuck on not typing in the subject line and the email, which is pretty bad, to be fair. I'm just typing, yeah, not that great, not that great. All right, let's try one more. We'll try one of the other templates, see if they actually work. So we'll go to new agent, lead generator, and we should be good to go here. All right. So it says, hey there, need leads, just say the words, try something like find me 2 designers in Berlin. All right, let's check this out. So let's say, okay, find me clients for my SEO agency. We like to white label to other marketing agencies, something like that. This one is still stuck in a loop. Now it's searching. Let's see what it's doing here. So job title. So it's looking for people with certain job titles using SQL, creating a spreadsheet. I assume that will be on Google Drive. Yeah, look at that. So you actually got the link right there of the sheet that it's using. And then it finds all the leads for you. And we've got the spreadsheet. Let's click on that. Damn, that's pretty awesome, to be fair. That is pretty crazy. So you can see here what it's done. Obviously, yeah. All right, so it's found the names, the job title, the company name, company size, etc., the email address, the phone number automatically and really quickly using that process. And literally all we said was find me some clients from my SEO agency we'd like to white label, right? So just to recap there, and that is pretty impressive because it was like a one-click flow. You type in the type of leads you want, it researches the internet, gets you all the email addresses, phone numbers of those leads, etc., and then puts them into a spreadsheet. And then what you can actually do is plug in that spreadsheet into a new flow, and it can do the outreach for you as well, which would be pretty wild too. But yeah, that was incredibly easy too. Let me share that too now. So I'll put that inside the AI profit boardroom here too. Let's grab the link. So it's lead generation agent. It's so much easier than using NA10, isn't it? Because NA10, you have to go back and forth, you have to mess around with it, etc. With this, it's just like one click, boom, we're ready. We've got this ready to go. So I do like the templates actually. A lot of them are pretty useful. So we've got a lead outreach here as well. So what we could do is we could say, okay, based on a new row added in my spreadsheet, reach out to that person via email, if that makes sense. So let's combine these two now. We do need Slack, which is annoying, but you could do the lead outreach as well. The email outreach assistant was okay. So it's still doing it. You can see it's actually written out the email here. I would actually tell the outreach assistant to make sure that you don't super long emails, but it's writing it now. I actually sent it. All right, let's check this out. So if we go to me at juliangoldie.com, might be in the spam. There we go. AI legend. Look at that. So we got the email that was automated with Lindy. It created the subject line, wrote the email, and it's like, hey there, hope this email, blah, 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 reaching out via Julian Goldie Agency. Here's the deal. Here's what we do. Fun fact, blah, blah. and then it links to our website. Boom. So just to recap there, it is pretty powerful as a tool. Bear in mind, like this can just run automatically. So if you have a long list of leads, this can run automatically for you in the background. You would just set up a schedule. I set it up as a message so that I can just plug in all the leads that I want to do. But you could easily deploy this as an automatic sort of scheduled outreach assistant, right? So I'll click share on that as well. And you can just grab it inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to grab this stuff. Let's copy that. Go inside here. Nice. All right. So just to recap here, we've got an AI research agent, we've got a lead generation agent, and an outreach assistant. Two of those are running on a virtual system, which means that every day they're scheduled to run, work its magic, and then, for example, it can research videos for you, it can find leads for you, it can find email addresses, phone numbers, etc. You can also send emails for you as well. So pretty powerful stuff there. Honestly, I'd be tempted to test that. I definitely think like the lead generation method is the best, right? Because like normally you would have to hire an employee. They're going to have to go off and do all the research for you. It was way faster just using the lead generation agent. So there's a lot of powerful stuff there. I would definitely recommend checking out. If you want to sign up, you can get a free trial, I think. But yeah, all those templates are inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Along with that, you get daily live calls. And if you want to connect with me personally, it's the only place that I personally connect with people actually. So inside the AI Profit Boardroom, you can also see like if people post stuff, we just get back to them right away. We show them exactly what to do, how to do it, etc. It's a really active community, lots of value in there. And additionally, inside the classroom here, you get the 6-week AI automation masterclass. So if you have no idea how to use AI, you've never built AI agents, you're almost overwhelmed with the information out there, then you can use something like the 6-week AI automation masterclass. And that shows you step by step exactly what to do. And it gives you weekly homework to do as well. Also, you can grab all the AI playbooks that I use to grow my business to, for example, automate social media content, even video content, etc. We've all got that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. All my best NA10 templates. So workflows are inside there as well. And additionally, this is updated like all the time. And you can watch back the Q&A call recordings and coaching call recordings as well. So feel free to get that link in the comments description. And if you just like, Julian, I want you to set all of this stuff up for me, right? I want to become a client of yours, Julian, and I'll just pay you and you just go off and implement this stuff for me. So if you want us to do that for you, feel free to book in an AI automation session. It's completely free, link in the description. On that call, we're basically going to look at where you spend all your time and then help you figure out, okay, what do you need to automate next to save hundreds of hours per month. And the good thing about that is you set up one automation, it saves you ridiculous amounts of time, right? The other thing I would say here as well is it's completely free, but if you do want to sign up as a client, we can just go off and implement that for you. Link in the description if you want to get that. You see all the great testimonials we're getting on this as well. So yeah, feel free to book that in. Hope to see you inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and I will see you on the next session. Cheers. Bye-bye.